So $8,000 in 2012, yay. $100,000 in 2013. That's amazing growth. $1 million in 2015. Then 2016, it seems like they were trying to figure some stuff out because they only grew by 30%, so 1.3 million. But then they definitely figured some stuff out. And when they were acquired in 2019, they had revenue about $40 million. And so a pretty massive explosion, which obviously coalesces around kind of the heyday of Instagram and Facebook marketing. And this is kind of pre-TikTok, but really one of those rocket ships from that era.
Yeah, and I think too, like the acquisition was amazing, right? Like at the time of acquisition, Chase owned 100% of the brand. They sold to Safilo Group, which is a big, eyewear and sunglass conglomerate, and Chase sold 70% of the brand for $63 million, or that's what he pocketed, right? And I think there was also a incentive for him to continue to grow it. Chase is still running the company. He's still got that same, powerhouse team in place. But I mean, that's just an incredible story that you often don't hear about in today's, e-commerce market in terms of a founder bootstrapping this brand over a, basically 7-8 year period and pocketing, $63 million. That's incredible. And so I think it goes to show just how innovative and how timely they were with social media. I think, they really grew a strong following and they really were engaging with their community. And I think a lot of people think like, oh, like how did, Blenders really work if their price point is like $40 to $60? It's so hard to spend on customer acquisition and have a profitable CAC at that price point, especially on sunglasses. But I think they focused on two things. Number one, bundles. So most people that are buying, on Blenders website, they are buying multiple sunglasses at a time, and they incentivize you in their checkout flow to bundle more sunglasses at once to increase your AOV. And number two, I would say, is sunglasses in general have like a pretty high repeat purchase rate because so many people lose or break their sunglasses. And so I think especially at that price point, Blenders does have a high repeat purchase rate, which is obviously amazing for their company.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think, other than looking to take some money off the table, what do you think they were, Chase ultimately decided to sell 70% of the business?
I think it was probably just the expertise that Safilo brings to the table in terms of, beefing up their supply chain, in terms of, adding more distribution channels, in terms of, having more capital to test and iterate on their product and work with, larger influencers and creators that we'll talk about shortly with what they've done with Coach Prime. But I think those are kind of the three main reasons in terms of, beefing up their supply chain, enabling more distribution, and being able to, innovate and take more risks when it comes to these partnerships.
That's great. Probably add in some international distribution as well. I think Blenders was primarily a North American business, and now that you've got connections all over the world, that probably just makes it better.